to the Mission Dorothy podcast with your hostess, Tamika's Williams. Hello, hello, hello. I know it's been a minute, but I am back with another episode so we can go ahead and finish our 8 dimensions of wellness and get the balance that we need. I know it's been a minute, y'all. I get it, but like I told y'all when I returned, work with me because I'm not at 100%. So I'm just allowing myself to do the things that I have the energy for and then moving on. Okay? So bear with me, you guys. I am working to heal myself and I can't I definitely don't want to be a hypocrite to you all because, I let you all know the importance of healing and, taking the time out to grieve and, you know, working on self. And so I'm doing that and I'm not willing to put any pressures on myself during this time. I think those are some bars right there, right? Not willing to put any pressure on myself during my time of healing. I am respecting this healing process and I am allowing myself to go through all my emotions so that I can heal and be my best self, right? So, work with me, y'all. Work with me, please. I know it's been a minute, and I want you guys to understand that it's not that I don't want to do the episodes. It's just that, like I said, I have a certain amount of energy that I can utilize right now, and so that's what I'm doing. But please note, I won't stop doing the podcast without letting you guys know, and I don't have any plans of doing that no time soon. If anything, I am wanting to do my episodes regularly, and I'm working myself back up, to that soon, one day. Let me just say that. So, anyways, let's get started. So, this is our third episode installment of the 8 dimensions of wellness. If you have not listened to the other episodes on emotional wellness and physical wellness, I highly suggest that you go and listen to those episodes as well. Remember that when we talk about wellness, these 8 dimensions of wellness is a great way for you to check in with yourself in order to see where you are off balanced in your life. Okay? And so this will be great for you to scan through these 8 dimensions of wellness, maybe every 6 months or at least once a year, just to see what changes need to be made in what area so that you can get close to balanced living as possible, right? Now, I do want to give a disclaimer because I am at home while I am doing this episode. So if y'all hear any cars or just whatever, just please ignore any background noise. Thank you. Okay. So, social wellness is our topic for today. And this is the third domain or dimension of wellness that we will be discussing. And so the definition of social wellness is defined as developing a sense of connection, belonging, and a well-developed support system. Now, I cannot tell you guys how important this dimension is because as a person with great friendships, I really cannot see my life without having good, close, loving, supportive friends. I just can't. But I know that there are a lot of individuals out there who are lonely, who do not have friends or have a history of having toxic and unhealthy relationships. So let's talk about it. So I am going to give you 7 goals that you would need to work on when it comes to having healthy social wellness, right? I'll dive into each one a little bit. I'll try not to make this episode too long, but you know what? Listen, if it's long, just chop it up in pieces if you don't have the time, or turn it on when you're cleaning the house, when you're in the car for a good, a nice little drive. But I'm struggling because I want to give y'all short episodes that you can go ahead and listen to. But then I kind of want to just give you what I got. And if it's long, it's long. And I hope that you guys listen to the whole episode. So it's up to you at this point, okay? This might be a long one because when we look around at society today, society is making us, even lonelier, right? With social media, with technology, it is really putting a huge, huge barrier in between us when it comes to human connection. And as a 70s baby, I don't know nothing else. Like, human connection has been my joint. Like, that's been my thing. You know what I'm saying? When I was little, we played outside. You know what I'm saying? We went outside and we played at school and at home. Or, my cousins, we're coming over each other's house and hanging out and spending the night and, you know, going over friends' house for dinner, or going outside and playing all day until, well, for some of y'all can understand, I was going to say until the street light come on, you know what I'm saying? And my mom, or if I was over my aunt's house, they both would stand on the porch and holler out my name when the street light would come on. And of course, the embarrassment was intense. But I feel so sorry for this current generation because you guys really don't have, not to say everybody, but a lot of you guys don't have that human connection like us from the 70s. You know what I'm saying? A lot of your connection is through social media and the likes and the thumbs ups and the follows and and that is just not human connect. I mean, it's a form of connection, but the best connection is human connection, face to face, right? So, anywho, let me just dive in because I could talk about this all day because I see so many people in my practice and just out here in the world hurting because they cannot find friends or, decent friends, loyal friends. And some of this is because of their own personal hangups of, I don't fool with women or I don't fool with dudes, because they've been burnt in the past by different friendships that did not work out. And what I'm going to say to that is the commonality in all those friendships was you. And it's important for you to understand that a lot of times when you have a history of toxic friendships, you have to look within yourself to figure out why are you choosing these types of people, right? Because for people who have like social anxiety, I find that the antidote to that is they're often trying to impress the wrong people, when in actuality, they need to go out and find their people, which are people that have similarities, right? Same interests, maybe same goals, same hobbies, you know, and it just makes it easier to be able to connect when you are around people that, have the same kind of viewpoint as you. Now, the first goal when it comes to social wellness is develop the ability to create and maintain close friendships. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's being able to understand what a friendship means and looking within yourself to see if you have the capability of being able to give those, you know, attributes or characteristic traits or behavioral traits to another person, right? As they say, treat people the way you want to be treated. So the ability to be able to create and maintain close friendships is so important. You have a lot of people out here who really don't know how to be friends. They, you know, and you also have a lot of people out here who will friend everybody and bring them in their inner circle, and then they get burnt often because they never vested the person properly, right? You know how little kids are. Oh, that's my best friend. That's my friend. That's my friend. They really don't know the concept, the real full concept of friendship. So everybody is their best friend, you know, the middle schoolers. Oh, that's my best friend. And school just started a week ago. You know what I'm saying? You only been knowing this person for a week and they're your best friend already. But, you know, that's developmental. Those are developmental issues there. But well, not really an issue, but that's just where they are developmentally. You know what I'm saying? So they really don't know better at that age. But when you become an adult, friendships are important. And to be able to create. So let's just talk about create. And it's hard to talk about create without first knowing how or understanding what a friendship is, right? So when we think about, like, you know, what is a friendship? There are a lot of different outlooks when it comes to friendships. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we all have our own definitions, you know. But at the end of the day, friendships are definitely important, right? So what is a friend? So if we look at the definition from Oxford Dictionary, it says a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection, typically exclusive of sexual or family relations. Okay? And I don't know how y'all feel about that definition, but let me know in the Q&A section or in the comments. A friend is someone who, now I'm talking about a good friend, okay? A good friend is someone who can pretty much mirror what it is they're getting back from their friend, right? So if their friend is emotionally available, attentive, supportive, motivating, inspiring, not afraid to put you in your place when needed, not afraid to help you learn, you know what I'm saying, lessons, not afraid to be honest with you, like can be funny, somebody that you can enjoy being around, someone who is willing to be there during the hard times, to give you support and love, someone who is loyal, who is not dogging you behind your back, someone who can see value in you and work to help you become the best version of yourself, right? This is me talking off the top of my dome, right? And so we all can have different definitions of friends, but I think that is a good definition right there, right? So what we first have to do is look within ourselves to make sure that this is something we can give. Do we have the capability to be able to give these things to another person? Right? Because if we're having a hard time in our family ships and romantic ships, then I know you're having a hard time in your friendships. So friendships first start with self. Look at yourself and ask yourself, would you want to be friends with you? And if not, then you know that there need to be some changes made. And that means that, nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. Trust and believe. Nobody is perfect. But when you think about friendships, can you give the other person, are you even available to give, first off? Or are you overconsumed with trauma? Are you overconsumed with work? Are you overconsumed with negative thinking? Are you overconsumed with past failed friendships? Are you overconsumed with trust issues? Like, you have to really look within yourself first and foremost before you even set out to go out and meet people, right? So get yourself in check first to make sure that you are able to give of yourself to other people, because that is part of what it means to be a friend. You're giving away of self, right? In the hopes that you would be able to be given back the same from your friend. Right? So if I'm pouring in my friend cup, my cup won't be empty. Why? Because she's constantly pouring back, or he's constantly pouring back into me. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm constantly pouring into a friend and that friend can't pour into me, then I got I need to think about some things when it comes to that relationship. Because you can have people who will drain you. You can have people who will overlook your emotions. You can have people who are super selfish and it's all about them. You know what I'm saying? And so definitely, you want to be able to just, like I said, make sure that you can give of yourself what you are asking of your friend, right? So that's first and foremost. Look at yourself, correct the things that need to be corrected, and once you've corrected those things and you feel that you're comfortable with who you are, you've done the work to heal, then you can start to go out and start building friendships. See, one of the problems is that people will go out and and not to say you got to be healed and perfect and all that to have friends, but I'm saying if your healing is intercepting when it comes to your friendships, right? If you are not healed and your trauma is bold and it's out loud and it clashes with your ability to be able to be friends or be there for other people, then that means that you have healing that needs to be done, right? So work on self first and then set out to create these friendships so that you can be able to have long lasting, loyal, honest, supporting friendships. You get what I'm saying? So I can go on for days with that one, y'all, but I said I was giving y'all 7. I'm still on the first one. Okay. So start with self, clean self up, right? Try to get self good. And then you can step out and start trying to meet people because you will have more to give at that time. Now, the rest of it says maintain close friendships. Now, how do you maintain a close friendship? You maintain a close friendship, just like I said, by pouring into that person the same way they pour into you. You maintain close friendships by making time for your friends, checking in on your friends, asking your friends how they're doing, not allowing the conversation to always be about you. Uh, like when my best friend calls me, we'll talk, she'll call, she'll check in. And I realized that there was a point where, especially like during this time of grief for me when I lost my mom, because she has really been holding me down. Girl, I love you if you're listening to this podcast. Okay, you know who you are. I love you, girl. But she's been holding me down on a daily basis, right? And I started to feel guilty because I was so overconsumed with the grief to where that's all I could talk about. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't checking in with her. I wasn't asking her how she's doing. I wasn't doing those things because I was just overly consumed with the loss of my mom. And I realized like now, like when we talk, you know, I'll start, girl, I ain't doing nothing. I'm at work, or I'm sitting here. I was thinking about this, and that. But then I try to get to a place of, so what's going on in your world? How are you doing? What's up with you? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to be conscious of not over consuming the conversation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Lord have mercy. Not over consuming, but I'm trying to be conscious of not overtaking the conversation. Right. And I'm trying to also check in with her and see what's going on her end as well. You know what I'm saying? And so when we talk about maintaining close friendships is giving what you give. I mean, I'm sorry, is yes, giving what you get. Right. And like I said, it's putting in time, it's putting in work. See, a lot of people feel like they don't need to put work in when it comes to friendships, but they'll bust their ass when it comes to putting in time for a romantic relationship. Now. Okay. Because the same way you get from your romantic relationship, you can also get from your friendships. But you have to put that time in and work in order to maintain a close friendship, right? Showing care, concern, love, support, loyalty, kindness, a little sense of humor, dependency. You know what I mean? Not dependency, but just being able to for them to be able to, well, that's loyalty, y'all. Sorry. Be loyal. Okay. Because I wanted to be careful with the dependency, because I don't want to mix that in with like codependency, because we definitely don't need that in friendships. But Lord, y'all, I could talk all day on this friendship topic. I'm going to have to bring this one back. But anyway, so to maintain close friendships, you do have to put the work in, right? You do have to share the time and the space. You do have to be willing to be supportive and loyal as well. You do have to give of your time, your space, sometimes your money, if they having a hard time, and you know what I'm saying? If this is a close friend, then you're going to want to help and assist this close friend. So maintaining close friendships means that you got to put in the work. You got to give time. You got to give energy. You have to make space, right, for your friend. Okay. All right, y'all. That's the first one. Develop the ability to create and maintain close friends. I hope y'all taking some notes on that one, right? Because this is key. The second goal for social wellness is feel comfortable interacting with diverse individuals and groups. Now, of course, we all feel comfortable with those that are like us. But guess what? We can also feel comfortable with those that aren't like us, of different races, different sexes, different socioeconomic status, different, just people that are different from us, right? Like we can feel comfortable with others as well, and we can also learn from others as well, right? So you don't have to just stay within your race, or just people who just like the same things you do. Like it's good to be able to interact with diverse individuals and groups, because that is when you can really learn from others, right? From other people's experiences, from other cultures, right? From other ideologies. You know what I'm saying? Don't close yourself off with just thinking that all your girlfriends got to be black. You know what I'm saying? Or all your girlfriends got to be white or Korean or Mexican, or no, you can have a diverse friend group. You know what I'm saying? And everybody brings something different, you know what I'm saying, to the table. So don't feel like you have to stick yourself in a box, right? We're not judging friends based off of skin. We should be judging friends based off of heart. You understand what I'm saying? So feel comfortable interacting with diverse individuals and groups, right? because this is how we learn. If we shove ourselves in a box and we only hang around the same type of individuals, then crabs in a bucket. Y'all know how that analogy goes. You know what I'm saying? So step outside of your box. There is nothing wrong with having a diverse set of friends. You know what I'm saying? And if your friends got an issue with it, then you need to look at those relationships, right? Because some friends can be territorial, honey, and child, that's a whole nother conversation there. Okay. Ooh, huh? Ooh, yes, I got to bring this topic back. So, feel comfortable interacting with diverse individuals and groups is the second goal for social wellness, right? A lot of us are social constipated out here, okay? Holding everything in and we ain't releasing nothing, okay? And so I think that one is really key because we all have habits of just having friends based off of our cultures or our race. And at the end of the day, cross the aisle. You know what I'm saying? Democratic, Republican. You know what I'm saying? We can get along. We can, black and white, black and Mexican, Korean and Mexican. Like, we all can get along. You know what I'm saying? And we can all learn from each other. We can learn from each other's culture. We can be introduced to new foods, new ideologies, new ways of thinking, new spiritual practices. Like, man, I mean, hey, I've had, some Caucasian friends who, I've had a fantastic time with, great conversation with, cried with, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't look at them different because they were white, and I didn't feel like they looked at me different because I was black. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't diving into the whole race conversation. I'm just going to keep it real for y'all. How do I say it? I'm going to keep it real. Sometimes when you meet other people of races, they feel like they have to try to connect with you based off of race. No, you don't have to connect with me based off of race. I don't want to hear the black story. I don't want to hear how you used to have black friends or you have black friends in your neighborhood or your brother is married to a black girl. Like, I don't want to hear that. Talk to me based off of who we are as humans, right? Connect with me based off of something we have in common. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to come to me with the black story. Okay. So, if there's anybody listening and you tend to do that, stop it. Cause honestly, we don't like it. We don't. It makes us feel like you're not being genuine. You know what I'm saying? Or it's this, anywho, I'm going to leave that alone. But just stop doing it and try to connect with us or try to connect with other races based off of who the person is, what y'all have in common, not necessarily trying to connect because you're both minorities. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. I mean, that can be beneficial in some ways, but I'm just saying, start friending people based off of who they are as a person, who they are at the heart level, and don't sit and just focus on what color their skin is the message I'm trying to say. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the third goal. The third goal is become aware of your responsibilities for the welfare of different communities. Now, remember, we're talking about social wellness, right? So this goes beyond your friendships now. So again, this says become aware of your responsibilities for the welfare of different communities. So that means care about people outside of your own race too. There is nothing wrong with that. Right? Yes, we all want to be supportive of those that are like us, but also there are those who may be going through the same thing as us. There are those who may be going through, and we may just have the resources to be able to help them. And out of the kindness of our heart, out of being children of God, like, our duty is to help each other. and to be there for each other, right? So social wellness is not staying on your side of the tracks all the time. Sometimes it's stepping across the tracks and looking to see where you can meet a need, right? And so, you know, become aware of your responsibility, your social responsibilities, right? For the welfare of different communities, right? There are communities that are having a hard time, that are suffering. And as a human, right, we have this thing called social connection, and we can connect by being of support to someone else who may be less fortunate, who may be going through a hard time, who may be living in an area that is depriving them, who may be not who may be lacking resources. And if we have it to give, then we need to be able to give to others. That is what this goal is saying, right? That's part of that social wellness. And I think that if we all did, reached across the aisle to help others, this world would definitely be a better place. But right now, this world is the me university. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is for self versus trying to like really help each other, uplift each other. So that one is very important as well. So once again, become aware of your responsibilities for the welfare of different people. And you know what? Just a side note, like this is one of those things where when you're working to live authentically and you're working to be the best version of yourself, that also means you stepping out of self and going out and trying to help other people. You know what I'm saying? So that too is enriching to the self. You know what I'm saying? It speaks to your heart. It speaks to your spirit. You know what I'm saying? So just kind of keep that in mind, okay? All right. So the next goal is, so we're on number 4. Let me just go ahead and repeat the first 3. The first 3 was develop the ability to create and maintain close friendships. The second goal is feel comfortable interacting with diverse individuals and groups. The third goal is become aware of your responsibilities for the welfare of different communities. The fourth one is, and I've pretty much talked about this in these other ones, understand and accept those with a different sexual orientation, gender identity, race, ethnicity, religion, socioeconomic status, and life experiences. Right? I kind of touched on this in the other goals there, but this is really key when it comes to social wellness. Understand and accept those that are different from you. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Don't be so closed-minded. Don't be racist. Don't be homophobic. Don't be, just all the ills that are out here that is working to separate us even further. Even further. Like when I look around and I look at, just how everybody is moving and shaking, we are so distant from each other. So distant from each other. You know what I'm saying? Lord have mercy. It just, okay. Let me get my thoughts together, y'all, because it really bothers me. It really does. But we're so distant from each other. And I think that we really need to pay attention to the ideology, these toxic ideologies out here, to these mentalities, or these toxic ways of moving in life that creates barriers in between human connection. Like we really need to be mindful of that. And a lot of times it falls under sexual orientation or gender identity or race or ethnicity or religion or socioeconomic status or life experiences. You know what I'm saying? And all of this is judgment. Last time I checked, the only person that can judge is the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And so all of this is you're judging people because they don't have enough money, or they don't have the latest and greatest, or because they're a different race, or they are a Republican or a Democrat, or, gay or bisexual, or male, female, or single mom, or, you know what I'm saying? Single dad, or, I mean, man, come on. You know what I'm saying? In order for us as a society to come back together, we have to stop being so judgmental of each other as if we're poison to each other. And don't let me talk about, oh my God, okay. I am not going to go there. But this whole gender war thing that's going on right now, y'all, when I say my blood be boiling under that topic, but I have to do it. We'll have to talk about that in another episode. But anyways, so understand and accept people's differences. Stop judging people. Stop being standoffish, because at the end of the day, one of the most beautiful things to me is when we're all in one room and we can all talk and get along and learn from each other. That's what I like about the little TED Talks, or when people do think tanks, is because you have people from all different types of backgrounds, belief systems, etc. And the beautiful part is learning from each other. That's why I like live conversation, right? When we could come in a room together. Like, that is something that I really would like to be a part of. And we just have conversation without judging each other, getting mad, pissed off, fussing, cussing, arguing, and fighting. You know what I'm saying? It's so much that we can learn from each other. I really think that we've forgotten about that, right? It's so many ways we can enrich each other's lives. It's so many ways we can, give people beautiful experiences. Yeah, we got to get it together. But that is goal number 4. Understand and accept those with that are different from you in any kind of way. Right? Whether they have a disability, whether they have a mental health disorder, whether they have some sort of physical deformity, whether they are a different race, like, we can all learn from each other in some form. Okay? All right, that's number 4. So number 5 is understand the concepts of sex and gender role stereotyping, and explore appropriate sex and gender role behaviors for yourself. Okay, that was a long one. I'm going to say it again. Understand the concepts of sex and gender role stereotyping, and explore appropriate sex and gender role behavior for yourself. So what they're saying here is, the first part, understand the concept of sex and gender role stereotyping. So we really have to be mindful of the gender stereotypes that are out here in the world. And we have to be mindful to not conform to those stereotypes, but instead explore appropriate sex and gender role behaviors for yourself. So this goes back to authenticity. Instead of being a carbon copy of somebody else, or somebody else's behavior, or somebody else's looks, or, figure out for yourself who you are, and how you want to show up in this world. You do not have to jump on the stereotype bandwagon. when it comes to concepts of sex and gender roles. Roles. Now, this goes back to kind of like the gender war that's going on between men and women, right? Men have their view, women have their view. But what people don't understand is that it's part of a bigger agenda, people, especially African American people, men and women. It is part of a bigger agenda. And we're falling like right in their hands. All of this gender war it's decreasing the Black family. Hello. It's pulling us apart. It's minimizing the multiplication. What I'm trying to say, y'all, it's dwindling the Black family. It's dwindling the Black family in numbers. It's dwindling us as a race. It is dwindling. If we're apart, that means we're not together having babies. Okay? Now, yeah, some of us are still out here having babies, but I'm saying when you look at the big picture, if we keep fighting, it is going to continue to put a wedge in between us. We're not going to be getting together, having kids, multiplying the race, and boom, 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 boom. I'm just going to keep it there. Okay? So we really have to find a way back to each other, right? Yes, everybody got the passport bros and everybody got their own view of what Black women are doing, and Black women got their own view of men needing to step it up, and like it, and it's some, it's some truth on both sides, and there's a whole lot of lies on both sides. But the goal here is for you, the listener who's listening to my voice right now. It's up to you to explore appropriate sex and gender role behavior and choose from there. Appropriate. Now, what is appropriate behavior, Tamika's? Whatever you feel is appropriate for you. I can't tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Some of us may go to the Bible, right? Some of us may look to our parents and their relationships. Some of us may look to our grandparents, right? Some of us may look to a couple that we, that we idolize, so to speak, and and work by trying to create the type of relationship that they have. Like, whatever you feel is appropriate for you, because there is no mold and it fits everybody. No. So explore appropriate sex and gender role behaviors for yourself. You don't have to jump on the bandwagon of what's hot out here in this world. That is where we become lost, when we're constantly putting out copies of us, right? It's just everybody looking the same. Everybody's house look the same. Everybody got the same paint. Everybody got the same decor. Everybody is wearing the same clothes, the same hairstyle, the same, like, God, dog. Where is the individuality? Where is the authenticity? That's why so many people are lost, because they don't know themselves, because they so busy trying to be somebody else. Ma'am, sir, they taken already. They're taken. That's another reason why people can't have good social connection, is because you ain't clear about who you are. So if you're not clear about who you are, you're not clear about what you bring to the table, and you're not sure about what you can give to somebody else. Stop being a follower and set your own course. Get in contact with your authentic self and stop being a copy of all this bullshit that's out here in this world. And I am sorry, y'all, but today y'all gonna get a couple of cuss words with this one, because I'm just so sick and tired of people copying. Dang, people can't have their own business models because everybody else is coming behind them. And I mean, granted, we can all be inspired, you know what I'm saying, by someone, but you got people out here copying folks' businesses to the T. To the T. And I mean, literally going on people's websites, stealing a copy and then pasting it on their, stealing people pictures. Like, it's just the lazy entrepreneur, baby, the thief. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, one of the best statements I've ever heard one of my clients say is, she came into my office. We were starting a session. She came into my office and she sat down like she was exhausted, right? One of those plop in the chair. And I said, what's going on? She said, Miss Williams, can I tell you something? I said, you sure can. She said, I am so happy that I am learning how to just be me. She said, I am so exhausted of trying to be either what everybody else want me to be or being something. I'm sorry, trying to be like other people. She was like, I'm feeling free. And when I say that was refreshing to hear, it was a compliment to my work. But at the end of the day, I was so excited for her because that was like shedding 100 pounds off of her back. When you get to a place of being comfortable with who you are and you don't give a F about I use the basic words. I ain't gonna drop the F bomb on y'all. But when you don't give a F about what people think about you, and you're free to show up in this world authentically you, why? Because you know you've done your work, because you know you're out here treating people with kindness and respect, because you know you're showing up, because you know who you are. Like, man, you're not worried about what people got to say and what they gonna think about you and what they gonna say behind your back. Like, that is so freeing. And it's like when you reach that point, you almost feel guilty because you spent so many years being a product of your environment. Child. Yeah. So this one is very important as well, y'all. Find your own appropriate sex and gender role behaviors for yourself. And I'm going to add this. Just don't be out here being an asshole. I'm just saying. Because that is not going to work. And you definitely won't have no friends with that one. Okay? Friends or romantic relationship. You know what I'm saying? Unless you dating another asshole. You know what I'm saying? Y'all feeding off each other. So work toward that authenticity. Find your own way. Stop jumping on the bandwagon of all this toxic gender and sex stereotyping that is out here in this world. Just don't. Okay? Because this one is a big problem when it comes to social wellness. The stereotyping, oh my God. And right now, you know, Black women is a hot topic right now. Okay. And they out to get us. They out to get... Child, we don't know if we can do right. We don't know if we can do wrong. We don't know. Like, people got something to say at every becking corner when it comes to the Black woman nowadays, child. I gotta laugh to stop from crying because honestly, it's really sad. It's really sad. that, this whole war toward the African American woman right now. It's sad. It's man, and it ain't just coming from men. It's coming from women too. Yeah. We'll talk about these things later, y'all. But anywho. So this is the fifth goal. Let me repeat it for you. Understand the concepts of sex and gender role stereotyping and explore appropriate sex and gender role behaviors for yourself. I will tell you guys a really good book for this one is, I was sitting here today because when I woke up this morning, it was like my soul was hungry. Honestly, it was like that last night. It was like my soul was just hungry for some knowledge. And I wanted some knowledge. I just, it was knowledge for something related to how can we get it together. You know what I'm saying? As a people, I don't know. I was just hungry for some knowledge. So today I ended up watching YouTube, and I was sitting and I was watching a lot of bell hooks videos. And for those of you who don't know Bell Hooks, she was a Black feminist who was also a professor and a just a intellectual powerhouse. Like, y'all got to get her books. That's all I can say. So I was in here watching a lot of her videos today, and I have a few of her books. I got Sisters of the Yams. I have Rock My Soul. I have Salvation. I have Communion. And I have a couple of books in my cart on Amazon, and I will be ordering some more of her books. But Rock My Soul is a book that is, man, it's a teaching book. And Rock My Soul is about Black people and self-esteem, where she takes Nathaniel Brendan's 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem. Y'all know how I feel about the 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem. Hence my first 6 episodes on this podcast. But she takes it and she explains our self-esteem as Black people, and why we have some of the issues that we have and where they came from, right? And, this book helps you to understand where a lot of the stereotypes, a lot of the behaviors come from that tends to lower our self-esteem. So I would definitely suggest checking out Rock My Soul. I kind of want to do a book club around this book. But I really need space. I need another office where I can have some space to have some things, y'all. Space just costs so much these days. I just need a nice size room where I can start having some groups and, you know what I'm saying? Some space to do some things, So God, I know you hear me right now. Know that that's a desire of mine, which you already know because we've talked about it before, but yes, so I would definitely say Rock My Soul is a good book, to connect with this goal here. All right. So goal number 6 is develop a global consciousness by recognizing the, hold on just a second. Okay. Develop a global consciousness by recognizing the interrelatedness of cultural, global, and national issues and needs. Let me say that again. Develop a global consciousness by recognizing the interrelatedness of cultural, global, and national issues and needs. And so basically what this is saying once again is step out your box and see what everybody else is going through. Now, you don't have to overconsume yourself because it can be a lot. You know what I'm saying? Especially when, I saw a clip of 50 Cent today, and he was saying that, we need to recognize that everybody is trying to come over here to the U.S. Well, child, I don't know when that clip was made because you do have a lot of people leaving the U.S. Okay. But when it comes to like poverty, you have a lot of people coming over to the U.S. trying to, start a new life so that they can have a more valuable or richer life, right? And he was just saying that, we think that our poverty over here is something, but when you go and you look globally, the poverty in other places is nothing like the poverty we have over here. It's not, and I'm not minimizing the poverty here because it's real. Trust and believe. A lot of people over here struggling in some detrimental ways. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying when we look across the world, you have some people's struggles are 10 times worse than what our struggles over here. So global consciousness, like be aware, be conscious of what's going on with other people in other places, not just right, in your house. You know what I'm saying? Be in the know, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to cultural, global, and national issues and needs. Because you just may have something to offer. You could be the one with the golden idea that can solve starvation or child trafficking or female mutilation, genital mutilation. You know what I'm saying? Like, so understand we have gifts. And these gifts are just not for people in your community, in your house, in your family, in your community, in your county, in your state, in your country. Okay, your jewels can be utilized in other places. You know what I'm saying? That's part of that think bigger mentality. So peek your head out. See what's going on around in the world. You know what I'm saying? And if there's something you can offer to minimize or demolish these issues, step up. Step up. You know what I'm saying? I think that one of the things we are really losing in this world is bravery and courage. When we look around, we don't have a whole lot of leaders like we did back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that's another topic too, right? All right. So that's number 6. Develop a global consciousness by recognizing the interrelatedness of cultural, global, and national issues and needs. Social wellness, right? It's beyond talking to your friends. Okay? As we can see with these goals, social wellness it's expansive and really bigger than a lot of what you guys may have thought. And it's also a lot of what we often forget, which is everybody else, right? Because everybody is so consumed with when I say everybody, I'm using the term loosely, not literally everybody, but you know what I'm saying. I guess I should say some of us are so in tune with self to where we do forget about everybody else. And part of our job as humans here on this earth is to be there for other people, to step outside of ourselves as well. All right. And our last goal for social wellness is work toward becoming a responsible world citizen. Work toward becoming a responsible world citizen. Now, what does that mean? You can be a responsible citizen right here in your city or state, community, right? You could be a responsible citizen here in the US. But what about when you step outside of the US? This is a very wide goal here, responsible world citizen. Because even when you go out of the country and you're interacting with individuals that may have less than you or may speak a different language or, different socioeconomic, race, culture, you still have a responsibility to be a decent individual when you come in contact with others. This is just one way of looking at this goal, right? Don't go out the country thinking you the shit because you got this, and that. And then you have people in other countries stepping up to you and asking you for help or can I get $1 or, whatever. Like, open your heart and don't look down at them. They trying to survive just like you. So responsible world citizen, that's just one way of looking at it. But also what this goal is saying is just understand that you are a part of this world. You are one person within this world and you are a part of it. So while you're here, why not be a responsible world citizen, right? Find causes that will be important to you. Find a way to get involved, to volunteer, to help. You know what I'm saying? Find a way to give to a nonprofit or some foundation that is important to you. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things on my list. I want to be able to volunteer more. I do give to foundations that are important to me. Some of the, I give one I give every month. It's on auto. Like, take that money out my account and go do the work you promising me that you're gonna go do, right? And then when I'm approached with other things, I'll donate. When the kids come and they doing their fundraisers, you know what I'm saying? If I have the funds, I will purchase, even if I'm not going to use whatever it is they selling, just helping them out because I know the child is going to be happy, but also because I'm trying to also be a responsible world citizen, right? So this is stepping outside of your individual world and looking around to see who else needs your help, your resources, your ideas, your hugs. You know what I'm saying? Like, work toward becoming a responsible world citizen. Okay? So I hope that this one was a good one. This one was a good one. Okay? Social wellness. Again, the definition is defined as developing a sense of connection within yourself, within your home, within your county or city, within your state, within your country, within this world, right? Developing a sense of connection, belonging, and a well-developed support system. Now, excuse me. I do want to just real quick speak on a well-developed support system because, child. When you have a support system that is willing to hold you up and carry you when you can't walk, run, or crawl, is it's a value that you cannot even put a number to. When you don't have a well-developed support system, my God, life can be very hard. I think we have strayed far away from the village mentality, and I think that we really need to bring it back. Because when we worked as a village, we were happier. We were closer. We wasn't as lonely. We were more ambitious, right? We had more bravery. Self-esteems were better. Relationships were better. You know what I'm saying? And now so many people are out here with no support system, whether single, whether married, whether with children, whether without children. Like, people are out here by themselves, sometimes by choice, sometimes by self-sabotage, and sometimes just the luck of the draw. You know what I'm saying? But I want to tell you that it is imperative that you do this work with this social wellness so that you can develop a support system that will be there for you when you can't be there for yourself. Now, as I think about this, as I think about this, I think about my support system. And I'm sorry, y'all, but I can't help but to get emotional because, I've been through some things in my life, and losing members of your nucleus family, right? Mom, dad, brother, sisters, your children. That loss is, I can't even, y'all, if you've experienced it, you know what I mean. But when I say, if it was not for my support system after losing my mom in November of 2021, I wouldn't be doing this episode. I wouldn't be doing this podcast. I would not be able to sit in front of my clients. Because I really think that I probably would have just lost my mind. Because my mother was everything to me. And my support system checked on me, brought me food, cried with me, loved on me, still walking with me, still holding me up, still wiping my tears, still supporting me almost 2 years later, still calling me and checking on me, still reminding me to push on and push forward. Like, having a well-developed support system is essential to your mental and emotional well-being, as well as your social wellness. It is essential to your life balance. Now, side note for introverts. Yes, introverts may like to be alone, but introverts, some like support and some don't like it, and some don't understand what they're missing by pushing people away and sitting and staying to themselves. I just wanted to throw that little piece in there because as a person with a well-developed support system between my friends and my family, my clients, okay? Like, my clients are coming to me for help, but they can take time to just check in with me and ask me, how am I doing today? And that means the world to me, because that shows me that they ain't idolizing me and they see me as a human. That means that they are giving me space and not expecting for me to be some robotic person who don't have a heart, who don't hurt, who don't go through things, who don't, you know what I'm saying, cry or struggle. So anybody listening who has been there for me, thank you. From the top, bottom, left, right, and in the middle of my heart. Okay? Thank you so much for being part of my well-developed support system. Because there are going to be times in life when you can't stand on your own and you need that help and that support. Because the thing is, when you out there trying to stand on your own and you don't have anybody, this is when the enemy slides in. This is when suicidal ideations slides in. Self-harm slides in. Eating disorders slides in. Right? It becomes unhealthy coping mechanisms because you've ran out of gas. You have nothing left and you have no one to lean on. Even when we think about, everybody have their right to believe what you want to believe. But as a child of God, when I'm struggling and I don't have anything left, I can lean on God. I can lean on his word, his promises. The experiences that I've had with God in my past reminds me of the fact that he's always been there for me and will continue. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even express, or I just can't tell y'all how important social wellness is. It is one of those key pieces of life that is important. I ain't saying you just got to be out here friending everybody, supporting everybody. But what I'm saying is step outside yourself for a change if you haven't. And if you are having a hard time with learning how to, keeping friends or maintaining close friendships or even creating friendships, start with yourself first, because you tend to attract you, right? So start with yourself first to make sure that you have what it takes to be a good friend. Because you can set out to build friendships, but if you don't know how to be a good friend, they're not going to last and you're going to pick the wrong people. It's all about finding your people. I don't allow people to force friendships on me. If we don't hit it off naturally, baby, it ain't going down. It's not going to go down. Don't try to force me to be your friend, because that makes me feel like you got an agenda, and child, I ain't with it. So start with self. Work on self. Heal self. Become the person you know you are. You know you can be. And then step out and go create and maintain close, healthy friendships, relationships, romantic ships, family ships, work ships, but go out there and create your tribe. because life is a whole lot better with a loving, honest, loyal, supportive tribe. Okay? So I am going to go ahead and end on this note. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. It is so essential to balance, right? And I just want to come back again with the introverts because I know you guys like to do things alone. And that's so well and fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But periodically step outside your box. Because sometimes we become introverts from our childhood. If we're the only child, we're not used to sharing. We're not used to being around a lot of people. We may have been bullied as a child, so we didn't have, good connections or was able to build friends. So many things can contribute to you becoming an introvert. But it doesn't necessarily mean that that's who you're supposed to be. Right? That could be a piece of you being a product of your environment. You get what I'm saying? So just look into that. I'm not saying every introvert, that's you, but I'm just saying for some of y'all, just take a look back and just check in with yourself to make sure you are a authentic introvert versus the fake one. Okay? All right, you guys. So that is it for social wellness. This is episode 3 of the 8 dimensions of wellness. My next dimension will be intellectual wellness. Child. When I tell y'all these 8 dimensions of wellness, all right, Samsa, y'all better create some stuff, okay? Because this is so good. Like whoever the team was to come up with this model, and I explained that in the first episode, but y'all, kudos to you all, because I really feel like the 8 dimensions of wellness is a fantastic tool that you can apply to your life to create balance in your life, to give you trajectory in your life, to create personal goals for yourself. Like, it's a great balance indicator. You know what I'm saying? So our next conversation will be intellectual wellness. Until then, you guys, please listen to this a couple of times. Write down the goals for your social wellness. And again, I just want to give props to Northwestern University. I am using their breakdown. They have a wellness center or program or something like that at Northwestern. And I just want to give them their props because I am using their breakdown of the 8 dimensions of wellness. And I must say that they did a fantastic job covering these dimensions. So good job, Northwestern. I hope that you guys are going through this in some of the classes, live for the students as well. And it's not just posted on your website. Okay. And if it is, then just, shoot them on over to my podcast. But anywho, all right, you guys, y'all have a good one. I love you all. And let's go out there. Let's be conscious. Let's be intentional, and let's live authentically. And until the next time, take care of yourself. Okay. Bye.